Welcome to the Pure American Podcast. This is episode, should be 13. It's coming out later than what it's supposed to. I apologize because if you can't tell by my voice, I am sick. I do not have COVID. COVID is a hoax. No,
We also both lost track of time terribly yesterday.
Yeah, I'm kidding. COVID is not a hoax. Please don't deplatform us. I'm your host, Fatty. That's the other host, Red Boy Hickabilly. He's a few brain cells short today. Apologize.
Me?
What do
That's
you mean?
you.
Whatever.
You need a nap and some milk.
Hey, shut up. I actually hate milk with a passion. I do not like raw milk. I just don't. Anyway, that's besides the point. We got a pretty decent show for you guys today. Make sure to follow us at Pure American Podcast on Twitter and subscribe to us if you're watching or listening on YouTube. Tristan, go ahead. So there's been a couple things that have happened over the 1-year anniversary of George Floyd's untimely death.
Yeah, so pretty much, well, let me explain what we're going to be talking about first. So on this episode is going to be pretty quick. We always say the episode is going to be pretty quick, and then it ends up, not being quick at all.
Somehow we get caught on a tangent from nowhere.
Yeah. But, so we got 3 topics today. First off, we're going to be talking about the George Floyd's anniversary. There was a shooting at George Floyd Square. And if you don't know what George Floyd Square is, it's literally the square, the bit of street that they made into a memorial for George Floyd over in Minneapolis.
Is it still being occupied?
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's being occupied anymore.
It just kind of died down.
Yeah,
okay.
I think they got cleared out. And then the second one that we're talking about are a couple of the anti-Semitic attacks that have been going on towards Jewish people. I feel like I should have to say towards Jewish people because a lot of people don't know what anti-Semitic means. Literally means prejudice and hatred towards Jewish people. But there's been a couple attacks going on, kind of like how there were attacks going on against, the Asians, stop Asian hate, all that due to COVID.
I see you. I see half of you.
Yeah, you see half of me. You see my eyes. And then the last one, which is going to be the hard-hitting topic that we're going to be talking about, is something that is very absurd. If you guys don't know what the Fair Housing Act is, we're going to be covering it, and we're going to be covering a case from the Missouri Christian University where they're trying to make... Go ahead.
It's not called Missouri Christian. It's called the College of the Ozarks. He's just saying it's a college university, or it's a Christian college in Missouri, but the college that this does take place.
It's called Ozarks University?
College of the Ozarks is what it's called.
College of the Ozarks. But it is a Christian university in Missouri. And so basically with that one, they made an appeal to the judge, and I should word that better. Biden's Fair Housing Act is trying to make it so biological males are allowed into the women's dorms at any university, and religious campuses are having a problem with that, obviously, because it goes against their religious beliefs. And they appealed to a judge, and the judge denied it. So we'll be covering that. That's going to be the major one.
Yeah.
But first off to start, George Floyd's death anniversary shooting. There was a shooting. They really don't have much on this one. Basically, police responded to reports of gunfire Tuesday near the place where George Floyd was killed by a Minneapolis police officer exactly 1 year ago. There were multiple shots fired. Do you want to actually pull up the video, Zach?
We can, yeah. Yeah, so I found it. So here we go. Let's watch. Oh, Lord. The boy booking it out of there. Woo! Woo! It's got him out.
Why's that guy running towards it?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Look at that car doing like a 20-point turn. Get out of there, bro. Why are you backing up, homie? I don't know where it's coming from because there's people running towards it.
There's people running all over the place. It's definitely over there.
Mm-hmm. It's casually.
It's a normal Tuesday, normal Monday. That dog's like, get me the fuck out of here. Okay.
Jesus, bro.
So, there were reports of people thinking that it was, M80s firecrackers, but there were photos of tons of shell casings on the fucking.
No M80.
That ain't no M80. That ain't no a quarter stick of dynamite's a lot louder too.
Yeah.
But so the thing is, one person was injured, not critically, non-life-threatening injury. Went to Abbott Northwestern Hospital, one gunshot wound, and it's just so weird because obviously no one was arrested, no one knows what was going on, but that was a lot of gunshots. There are no reports of it being like directed towards one person.
That was 58 seconds of like solid gunfire.
Yeah, but like there's no reports of it being directed towards one person. But what does someone gain from literally lighting up an area on George Floyd's 1-year anniversary of his death? Like I just want to know what the motive was behind it, especially if they weren't physically going at someone.
Oh, side note about the 1-year anniversary. You hear I think it might have been Biden. Somebody said that I think it was Biden, that George Floyd's death was more impactful than MLK's.
What?
Yeah, or the thing that George Floyd caused. You know what I mean? Like the protest and all that stuff was way more impactful than MLK. You know, the guy that let black and white people drink out of the same water fountain again.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That is so fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just something simple we wanted to cover. If anyone hears anything about any motive behind it, please comment it down below. I'm just confused on why someone would do that on the 1-year anniversary of his death. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I figured something was going to happen. Like, I honestly thought something was going to happen, and it did. Mm-hmm. Because it's always when it's something like that, like a year anniversary or something that has to do with, a race-related incident, quote-unquote, a race-related incident. I'm going to use that term loosely. But
sorry.
It's always something happens.
Oh, yeah, right. Without fail.
24/7, every time.
Protests going on too, but we have some anti-Semitism stuff going on.
Yeah, that is.
There's a bunch of people also in the comments of our last episode that wanted to know about what we think about the Israel and Palestine thing.
If you wanna, you can cover that right now. Talk about because I haven't really been. I know what's going on. I haven't really been keeping up with all the like the smaller things going on, like the little details.
Yeah. So the Israel-Palestine conflict has actually been going on since 1948, since Israel was created as a nation. And for those of y'all that don't know, Israel's a really young nation, and a lot of people, not only say a lot of people, it wasn't even, there's a few people, most of the Arab countries, except for Jordan, I think, they don't accept it as a country or its own country. And obviously, as you can see, a lot of people are opposed to it actually being its own country, saying that it doesn't deserve its land, whatever, and that the land belongs to Palestine. Anyway, so this little conflict's been going on since 1948. There has been a lot of, obviously, resurgence of hostility now, a lot of rocket attacks. Actually, I think I read somewhere, there's actually been more attacks done from Hamas into Israel itself, versus Israel actually attacking back. Most of the time, Israel is attacking back, trying to take out the rocket positions. But as you know, being in the military, people don't like to fight warfare, and so they like to hide behind civilians or
Yeah, I read that they were using children and women and men.
Hamas puts its rockets inside of neighborhoods or places where there are civilians. So when Israel does eventually come and take a strike out to take out the rocket, or whatever they're using to launch it, or where they're launching these strikes
CRAM. They're using something like a CRAM, like what we use in Afghanistan and Iraq, what's mounted on the top of the buildings. It's literally a minigun that shoots flares.
They have that. That's the Iron Dome, I think. But no, I'm talking about when they have an airstrike. When they call in an airstrike to take out wherever they're launching the rockets from, they obviously will hit civilians because the Hamas is putting their rockets or their trucks, wherever they're launching them from, in the freaking neighborhoods. And I, personally, look, I'm a Christian, so I believe Israel's a holy land and Israelites are God's chosen people, whatever. But I mean, I honestly think we should let it fight them out, or let them fight it out. I really don't care too much about it. I defend Israel, and from my belief, right, no matter if they're in Israel or not, it'll still be God's. It'll still be God's chosen people, and it'll still be God's holy land. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel honestly, everyone's saying we need to get involved in this situation.
No.
I'm saying no.
No.
And I know everyone's going to look at this and be like, you guys are conservative. You guys love war. No, we don't love war. We don't want to get involved. Yeah. And, I mean, just that argument that people have been using, that's why I bring this up. The people have been using the argument. It's just like, oh, you guys love, like, positioning yourself in a way and implementing yourself in that situation, like America as a whole. I'm just like, okay, we need to stay out of this because, honestly, this ain't us. This has been going on for years.
Yeah. Oh, for decades.
Yeah, decades.
Side note, right? Palestine was never its own nation. So, from a historical context, right? And I'm not picking sides. I'm just giving you the facts here. I'm giving people facts. Palestine has never been its own nation. It's even back in like the biblical days or early history, right? They've always been some district or some part of someone else's empire. Whether it was Egypt for a long time. Mm-hmm. Then they split up the Gaza Strip, and I think Egypt owned it, had some of it, and maybe Jordan had another part of it. It has never once been its own nation. It's always been like a district or like a side part of, you know what I mean? It'd be like,
so would it be kind of like Cuba?
I get no. It's never. Cuba's its own, isn't it? Nobody owns Cuba. Cuba's its own nation.
Which one? I'm thinking of some
You
place.
talking about like Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico.
No. It's kind of like this, right? It's kind of like it's like if you have a state, you know what I mean, and you have different counties, and a state. It's kind of like that. It's never been its own standalone nation, you know.
Yeah.
So for those people that said like free Palestine, like free them from what though? Like they were never captured. They have been subservient to a different form of government for decades. Or no, for majority of their lifetime. I won't even say decades, centuries.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh yeah, and if you're gonna side with Hamas, right? The only reason I don't Hamas is literally a terrorist organization, and I'm pretty sure it was designated by Bill Clinton, which was a Democrat.
Yeah.
Hamas is a terrorist organization. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And if you don't believe me, like I said, they are literally using civilians to protect their weapons that they're launching on Israel. And they're not just launching them at, like, I'd say...
They're free-ranging
if you want to fight, if you want to fight, you know what I mean? Launch your rockets at their military installations. I'd be like, you know what? Hey, they want to fight it out. They're going for where, they're attacking your military installations. That's up to you to defend them. No. They're launching them at their own people in Gaza and into civilian neighborhoods of Israel.
Yeah, that's literally just free ranging it. They're not even like really. So you've seen the videos of their missiles, right? Their videos,
right.
Like their missiles aren't like our Patriot missile systems at all.
They're using the trucks or whatever they are.
It literally just shoots up and they go wherever the fuck they want to go. Like you can see that their line of fire is not fucking straight.
Half of them don't even fly straight.
Yeah, and a quarter of them blow up in the air. So it's like they're literally just. Yep, over there. Yeah, that one. And aim over there, too. Yep. They don't care who they're hitting at all.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, damn, that's an orphanage? That's fucking crazy. Knock it out. They don't give a shit.
They're not even aiming. Half the stuff they're not even aiming for. And again, like, everyone's like, oh, Israel's killing civilians. Look, man, I don't know what else you want. Like, obviously, the deaths are sad, right? This is a conflict, I think, that could be avoided. I don't really know how, but I think it's a stupid conflict, right?
It was, like you said, it's been going on for decades. It was bound to just start escalating more.
But with that being said, how is Israel supposed to defend itself if it can't counter launch? Like now, I think they're trying to actually send in like IDF, like groups and detachments on foot to go take out the missiles, so they don't take civilians out. But even that's dangerous. You know what I mean? Like you've been in the Middle East, right?
Mm.
Like everyone, no offense, but everyone looks like an enemy out there because the enemy dresses like the people.
So in the Middle East, so that's why this last deployment that all my friends were on, I didn't go on that, but the last deployment that my friends were on, when they came back, this was when I first got to Fort Carson.
Right.
I got here in the middle of their deployment, and they were literally all telling me, they're just like, so I forgot what it's called. When you go out to this place, I guess you can call it like a carnival or something like that. But when you go out there, I'm trying to think of the name.
Is it like a fair or something?
It's kind of like a fair and
or a festival.
So military, it's not like a fair like you'd think here. Military are allowed to go out there, and they go out there, they get like, Afghani cigarettes, or they do it in Iraq too, and a lot of people out there are friendly, but still, everyone who is out there, like us, we don't go out, like we can go out there, but we aren't like infantry.
Right.
So they'll take, mechanics out there, they'll take other people out there that want to go. But you still gotta watch your back, because everyone literally, and I know this might sound super fucking racist, but it's a true, everyone dresses the same, everyone looks the same. So, when you're out there, it's just like, okay, someone might have a bomb, someone might have, people have guns out there, because while you're out there, you're going to see people carrying guns. You don't know if they hate you, you don't know if they like you. And then you also have the, like, Afghani military out there, too. A lot of them are corrupt.
Yeah, it's the Wild West, dog. It's just like the Wild West. It's the Wild Middle East.
Wild Middle East.
But yeah, no, so that's been the whole... So, obviously, backtracking, Palestine has gained a lot of support. You can't lie. Like, they have a great propaganda. They have great propaganda. Because you've seen it. There's so many people marching for Palestine and I have no idea. And again, it's completely insane to me how brain dead some people are. It's like, support Hamas. Yeah, it would literally be the equivalent to, and I don't care, people can say, no, it's not. No, it is the equivalent to supporting Al-Qaeda or the Taliban.
Yeah.
It's literally that. It's the same thing. And everyone's like, well, we got to free Palestine. Free them from what, dog? They were never their own nation. And to be honest, they probably never will be. And if that hurts you, too bad. So, you know what I mean? Go ahead.
Over in the Middle East, it's like super. So I went over to Kuwait like years ago, and I know it's going to sound super weird, but my church, and it happens a lot, we did a missions trip over in Kuwait. And over there, like, even if you're not, like, Kuwait's, no one wakes up in the mornings just like, let's go to Kuwait. No, and Kuwait's not dangerous. It kind of is. You still get, like, hazard pay if you're in the military, you're over there and stuff like that. But Kuwait, you can go over there, they have Dunkin' Donuts, Subway, all this other shit. But we were over there for a mission trip, and you can tell, like, even when people are looking at you, it's just like, damn, they hate you, even if you're not military. So that, like, when I was over there, and we were over there building houses, quote-unquote houses, I guess you could say.
Right.
Not like the house I'm living in now. But
just before or after you became agnostic?
Oh, this was before.
Okay.
But when we were over there, it's just like, okay, we're a bunch of kids. People still hate us.
Yeah. No, so anyway, back here in the States, you'll see marches for Palestine. People are online, free Palestine, or, side with the Palestinians. And I had a conversation with this guy over Instagram. And I was like, because I put him on a story, I was like, tell me why I should be pro-Palestine or pro-Israel. You know what I mean? And I kind of lied. I was like, I haven't picked a side yet, but tell me why I should join your side. And basically, it got to the point where we're talking about, like, Israel was created in an illegitimate way by, like, the UN. Because everyone's like, oh, America established Israel. That's not true, actually. It was a bunch of nations within the UN. And I'm going to be honest with you, right? When Israel was created and, there's wars fought or whatever, like, I know conquering kind of seems archaic in today's times, but that's how conquering works, dog. It's literally it's what humans have done for centuries, for millennia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's how Israel was then created in that way. And you can claim all you want if you're in the streets marching here in America for some reason, because, like, that matters. Like, what we do here is definitely going to affect there. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. You can't argue with the fact that the majority of the UN, almost all the UN, recognize Israel as its own sovereign country.
Yeah.
And none of them, outside of, like, just the Arab countries, except for Jordan, I believe, which is an Arab country, none of them recognize Palestine and never have. Yeah. And probably, like I said, never will.
Because they've never been their own sovereign country.
Like Palestine doesn't even have a military. Again, a terrorist organization is essentially using the name of we're going to do this for Palestine to carry out anti-Semitic attacks. And that's exactly what this is.
On that note, let's cover the topic real quick. We sidetracked way too much. Yeah. Okay. So basically, several Jewish people have been attacked in cities across the United States this week, last week and this week. And authorities are investigating assaults in New York and Los Angeles as tensions flare over the Israeli-Palestine conflict. I just think this is, like, super dumb. Especially, so, like, for me, so my best friend, Aiden, he's like my brother. Him and I grew up together. Like, he's Jewish. Him I don't have to worry about. He's Czechoslovakian. This dude's big as shit. Like he's got more facial hair than you do.
Right. Well, I shave, so.
Oh, yeah, he don't. But, so, I mean, I don't get it. Maybe you can give me some insight on it. But, did your camera just die?
No, I just switched cameras.
Oh, but maybe you can give me some, like, insight on it. Why do you think people are just going after Jewish people in the States over the conflict?
The same reason why when Pearl Harbor happened.
Yeah, Japanese were put in.
Japanese. Well, a lot of people went in after Japanese.
Well, they actually went after Asians, and I mean, I'm going to say this because I'm Asian.
Same reason,
we do kind of look the same.
Yeah,
so.
The same reason why. I think, honestly, in my opinion, the only way I can tell the difference between most Asian people is around that Chinese area or China area and a little bit of Japanese. They all look the same. In my opinion, you can call me racist. They have a lot of similar features, right? Because a lot of them come from the same groups. And then they get like Cambodia, like Vietnam. And it's like you can tell a difference there in the Philippines, and then Korea with the skin tone, you can tell a difference.
There's a lot of between them. There's very minimal like physical differences, but for like me, it's accent.
No, yeah, it'd be the same thing as like a bunch of people have different accents down here in the South compared to the rest of the United States. Anyway, so that's another point. So also going back to what you said, like why do people carry out attacks? The same reason, like again, with the Stop Asian Hate Crimes thing with COVID.
Just a group blame.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people are angry at the Jews for some reason. Can't tell you why they carry out hate attacks. You know.
Yeah.
Who knows? You just don't like a group of people. And you know what's funny and ironic to me is I don't know if you've ever seen the pictures. It's like the LGBT is for Palestine or whatever.
Dude, I saw that. I'm like, who's gonna tell them?
Who's gonna tell them that you can't exactly take a vacation over to if Palestine becomes its own nation because the odds of you getting thrown off a building are like 100 to 1.
Yeah. If y'all don't know, they don't like you. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Oh, they hate you.
Yeah, they hate you. There's a difference
between like Christians, like
your love is illegal there.
Yeah, like true Christians and Jews obviously morally object, but they're not going to come out and they shouldn't come out in violence against you.
Mm-hmm. Because that's also against the religion, correct?
Yes, but these people will.
Mm-hmm. They don't give a shit. They'll shoot you, whatever. Literally anyone that's over there, anyone who shows love and affection, like actual love and affection, sleeping with another man, sleeping with another woman, they get killed. Like if someone, snitches, whatever, tells the government, tells someone else, actually it doesn't even have to be the government, literally tells anyone, and they kill you, like that person's not going to get in trouble because literally it is illegal there.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Yeah, I saw that photo. I was just like, oh my. I'm like, damn, y'all really don't know.
If I ever see a picture for women for Palestine, I'm going to laugh too because women have no rights in that situation either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's cringy. But anyway, so there's been a string of probably anti-Semitic attacks?
A bunch of anti-Semitic attacks, whether verbal or physical. The authorities are still looking for, like the people who are actually been doing it. There's been a couple people that have been arrested. I just want to cover this. If you see that going on, it's been going on a lot in New York and bigger cities. I know it's happened in Portland. It's happening in LA. It's happened like even in.
Oh my goodness! Don't smoke, kids. Do not smoke.
It's happening like Houston, just a lot of bigger cities. If you see that happening on the subway in the streets or something like that, say something, step out. Beat the dude's ass because that's not like socially acceptable. I don't care who you're siding with.
Yeah. Hate towards anybody of any group is not acceptable.
don't just sit there and watch. Yeah. It's like, and the sad part is,
don't turn into a cringy activist though. Don't.
Don't turn into that. But I mean, the fact that it's happening in New York, and a lot of New Yorkers are allowing people just get away with it. New York is obviously a very crowded place, and this is happening.
There's a lot of Jews up in New York.
It's happening on subways. It's happening in the square, and no one's doing anything. No one's saying anything. Like, please just say something. Get authorities or something. Hold the guy that's beating the Jewish dude's ass or whatever. Because it's just not okay. Hate towards anyone of any race, religion, or whatever is just not acceptable.
Yeah. I stand by that. So, speaking of... Religion, yes.
This has been a very religious episode.
Explain to me, because you're the one that found this topic. So let's talk College of the Ozarks here.
College of the Ozarks. Okay, so... The Fair Housing Act was brought up by the Biden administration. The Fair Housing Act, it basically is for college campuses, and it falls under the LGBTQ plus community for it to allow biological men. I'm going to say biological men because, yes, biological men. Or
you have a penis. You are a biological man.
So they want to say, trans women. No, I'm going to say biological men. It allows biological men who identify as a woman to stay in women's dorms and use women's showers, whether or not you have the genitalia or not. So that...
was this the thing? Because I remember... excuse me. I remember the one, like, when Biden's, first couple of days in office, he literally put out something like he signed some executive order to prevent, discrimination on the basis of gender identity and sexual orientation. Does it fall under this one, too?
I feel like that one was a blanket, or not a blanket, I shouldn't say that, but that one was a grouping of was that a, I forgot the term, like HR 127, what's the term I'm looking for?
He signed an executive order.
Executive order.
That's what he signed. 127 was a bill that needs to be passed up through the House and then through the Senate and whatnot.
So I think he did sign the executive order that kind of correlates with the LGBTQ plus community. So it prevents discrimination, which, I mean, discrimination in jobs and so forth. I get that. But so the Fair Housing Act, he applied this to religious campuses, religious universities too. So it doesn't just fall under Oregon State University, fucking whatever it is.
Right.
Colleges, private campuses that are religious, they have to fall under this. So
is it even ones that don't take federal funding? Because there's a lot of private Christian colleges that don't take federal funding.
Oh, I believe it. I believe that it also has to fall under that.
Oh my goodness.
I can look that up too. So. College of the Ozarks, right? Yeah, College of the Ozarks.
It's
they
not a big school either. This isn't some massive school.
Actually, this school doesn't take federal funding.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I'm guessing it's just all around the board. So
they do donations and tuition. Is how they make money. Yep. So
they got word from this or about this act. And they decided to make a plea to the federal judge of the district, Judge Roseanne Ketchmark, Roseanne Ketchmark. They plead, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and on a Wednesday, she denied the College of Ozarks' motion for a temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction against the Department of Housing and Urban Development's Fair Housing Act. So, pretty much, if you guys don't know, a lot of religions, and whether you want to hear this or not, I don't really give a shit. I'm not religious. I'm agnostic. I believe some things there, but I don't claim a religion. And then Zach, he is Christian. But a lot of religions, their religious beliefs go against, LGBTQ as a whole. And whether you guys like that or not,
most monotheistic religions.
Yeah, most monotheistic religions are against LGBTQ, which, I mean, if you guys don't like it, that's cool. It's religion. Religion's been around a long time, and they're not going to change the rules just because you're upset.
Right.
And a lot of them do not believe that biological men should be allowed in women's dorms, which is rightfully so. They should not.
I'd argue that's a little more common sense.
That's a little more common sense. It's like how we covered, when we first started this, when Biden first came into office, how he wanted to allow biological men into women's bathrooms, vice versa. And we said, yeah, that's common sense, that should not be okay. But now it's come to religious colleges. And the fact that a judge denied a college's freedom of religion is absolutely absurd.
Mind you, one that doesn't even take federal funding. It's its own private institution. It doesn't need federal help.
They take, what do you say, donations and tuition?
Yeah, they have people who donate to them probably. So, yeah, if a college doesn't take federal funding, usually it's from big money people that they'll be able to get to donate money to you. Like oh man, what's it called? What is it called when somebody's like giving someone who donates to you all the time?
I do not know.
Oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Because they'll name buildings after you.
Ketchmark said an effort by the college to stop HUD from applying the new federal directive wouldn't protect the college from any liability related to unfair housing allegations. What liability? Someone's mental health feeling sad that a biological man is not able to go into a woman's shower? We're not even talking about bathrooms at this point. It's like actual showers.
Yeah. So it says, hold on. So, the lawsuit. So the ADF, which is a Christian organization, which is the, what's it stand for? I just read it. The Alliance Defending Freedom is a Christian nonprofit act. They filed a lawsuit on behalf of the college. And so it goes something like this. The ADF and the College of the Ozarks argue that HUD's directive violates the Administrative Procedure Act, which allows the public to comment on a proposed rule. While Ketchmark's written ruling is not yet available, Bangert says she does not believe the school... Oh, yeah, Bangert is like one of the heads of the ADF, the Christian nonprofit. She does not believe the school has a claim under the APA. Because... What does it see? While the school has long been, so this was in the lawsuit, the school has long been guided by biblical worldview that all people should be treated with dignity, grace, and holy love, whatever their sexual beliefs. That's what I believe. It also teaches that sex is determined that sex as determined at birth is a person's God-given objective gender, whether or not it differs from their internal sense of gender identity. That's the lawsuit states. That's the basic Christian belief when it comes to that sort of stuff. So, sexual orientation.
Serena Olaf, who I don't know who that is. Oh, another attorney for HUD, argued, "We recognize the college may have strongly held beliefs. Nothing that the government has done should be taken to suggest a lack of respect for the college's religious beliefs. But at this juncture, this is purely one-sided dispute." Yeah, because the government is literally trying to, like we've mentioned multiple times, your guys' rights are going to get taken away. Now it's freedom of religion, especially in a nonprofit, which I believe this is. I need to double check that. Nonprofit college, a nonprofit campus.
Just because it's private, I don't think it's a nonprofit. You'd have to look that up.
Yeah, I need to. I'll look that up before you end. But on his first day in office, yeah, this is what we're just talking about.
This is literally crapping on the First Amendment.
Oh, yeah.
That's literally what this is.
On his first day in office on January 20th, President Joe Biden signed an executive order to prevent discrimination on the basis of gender identity or sexual orientation. In February, HUD announced it would administer and enforce the Fair Housing Act to prohibit discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity. So even if it's against your damn religion, dude, everything, your First Amendment is going. Like, it's almost gone. Like, we're almost at that point.
Excuse me, yeah. And I want people, if we have any female listeners in the comment section, right, because there'll be a lot of people like, oh, I don't care, whatever, let them share. I want you to answer me this. You're in your dorm, and you walk into the bathroom. Like, let's say you have an old school dorm where there's, like, one bathroom on the hall. You know what I mean? A bunch of showers and whatever. You have to walk down the hall at, like, 2 in the morning. You got to take a piss. And you go down there, and there's, like, a super shady dude in there. and you
obviously
feel
not a woman either.
You feel uneasy, like not even like one that's like transitioning. Like we're just talking about a guy that identifies as a girl. Like if I were to say I identify as a girl and I don't change a thing about me, and like you're telling me you'd feel completely comfortable to go in there by yourself and go take that leak? I don't believe it. I just don't. Maybe I'm wrong. So tell me in the comments or something or on Twitter. Tell me, do you feel comfortable with it?
It's like, I'm not going to say, like, I'm going to say it. Democratic politicians always advocate for, helping women and keeping women safe, yet they want to do this. And I'm not going to lie, a lot of us are shady as shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of us want to, we'll do some stupid shit, some very...
Not all men, though.
Yeah, not all men.
Not all men, no.
Go us, not us too. But there are a lot of shady men that are down to literally do whatever. And that, when it comes into that play normally leads to sexual assault. And I don't know if you know this, is sexual assault very prominent on college campuses?
They say it is, but it's not.
It's not?
They say 1 in 4 women is going to be sexually assaulted. No.
Oh, yeah. Those results are never that. But
no, it's not as bad as you think it is. It's really not. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but dog, that's
I feel like it will happen a lot more with this act, the Fair Housing Act.
Yeah, dude.
100%.
I do believe that.
Then it's gonna go to 1 in 4.
Yeah, it will get to that 1 in 4 for real if we let this thing slide. But outside of that, I highly doubt. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know how they can impede on someone's freedom of religion just that easily without a second guess. And they say, oh, respect every religion. Well, you're not respecting most monotheistic religions right now. You're basically telling them to eat a dick, and they need to follow the government's rules, and the government is going to limit what they're able to practice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane.
Like we say all the time, First Amendment's gone. You see all the censorship going on the media. You see all the, just like people who aren't able to voice their opinion, even on just social media, like what him and I are a part of. People aren't able to voice their opinion anymore without being personally attacked if it doesn't fit a narrative. And now we're going to religion.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And religion's been around way longer than our government.
Yeah, it really has. I found a joke about an atheist at a Christian college.
Go for it.
The child of atheist parents was doing terrible in school. He had flunked and changed schools several times, and the parents were running out of options. So, in desperation, the boy's parents put him in a Christian school. To their amazement, the boy did fantastic. Math, which was his worst subject previously, became his best subject. He was getting straight A's. Finally, the parents could not contain their curiosity. They told him they had to know why he did so well in Christian school. He told them, "The first day I walked into math class, I saw this picture on the wall of a guy nailed to a plus sign. I knew they meant business." That was bad. I know. I regret reading that. Reading that. That's weird.
But anyways, as far as I know, unless you got another topic to cover, this is actually going to be our one where we actually kept it pretty short.
Yeah, we're going to try and tone it down. Again, sorry for pushing this one out late. I've been sick, garbage sick for the past 2 days.
We both thought yesterday was Monday.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get back to our normal Wednesday, Friday,
yeah. So
next week might only be one episode because that's the week I move into my new apartment because I'm moving back to DFW in Texas. So if you only get one episode, maybe on Wednesday or something like that, do not be surprised.
Be grateful.
Be grateful because I am super busy.
Yeah, with that all said, man, it's been a fun one. We'll catch y'all. There's not going to be should or could. There will be one on Friday. Keep your eyes out for that one.
If you guys have any topics, because we've been busy, he's been sick, I've been packing. If there are any topics that you guys would honestly like us to cover that you have heard about, comment them down below. We love doing research.
Yep.
Not love it, but we do it this.
I like seeing retards. So
yeah. So if you have any
retarded things,
if you have anything that you would like us to look into, give our take on, whether it might be, like we say, we'll call out
That sounded so bad. I just realized I like seeing retards. Like they're in
Oh
like
my
a
god.
bunch of autistic people in a zoo. Now I feel bad.
But I mean,
Dang it.
if you guys have anything, against, we call out conservatives too for doing stupid shit. You see anything on social media, just tag it down below. Message it to us on Twitter. Send us the link. We'll make
Or on
sure to go look
Instagram,
into
whatever.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok, we're on everything. So if you see something you want us to cover, just shoot it over to us.
All right, with that out of the way, man. It's fatty. It's Rare Boy. We will see y'all on the next one. Deuces.